Hello, Internet. It's me, Brian Maxwell, and we are on location. After a 3-hour drive, I just pulled up at my main man Chris's house, and he has the famous Tell 'em Steve Dave Shrine. Tell 'em Steve Dave is a podcast that I frequent every so often. This cat is a huge collector of all things Tell 'em Steve Dave, so I hopped in the car, we drove along. As soon as I got here, he said, come down to the basement with me. So if you don't hear from me in the next 3 to 7 days, tell my wife I loved her. No need to call for help. I'm sure I died a happy death. I feel like you need liability insurance to walk down this hallway. All right, Internet. The world famous Tell 'em Steve Dave Curator Shrine with all the shadows and terrible lighting that you could ever hope to have. So my first question, Mr. Tell 'em Steve Dave Curator, is when are you going to get some proper lighting in this bitch?
I will probably never, because that's not a huge concern down here.
Well, why would you put up a shrine? This is from Elephants in the Room.
That is.
That's rad. Why would you put up a shrine and then leave it in the dark? You think the Baron and the Demon don't want to see some light?
I mean, to be fair, you just picked the two characters that specifically would want dark.
I don't think so, man. I think that's a lie. I've been watching a lot of Preacher on AMC, and hell is full of LED lighting. Well, so, now that's dope right there. What's that?
That's from a
What's Maxwell's house?
I don't know. I just found that one day.
I mean, I feel like people could find that if they wanted to get on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, whatever else we're on. We're on all kind of stuff.
Basically anything that'll take a podcast.
So Overkill, what is Tell 'em Steve Dave presents Overkill?
Overkill is just anytime they did mysterious or spooky or eerie stories. Those two posters, I believe they're still for sale on Tell 'em Steve Dave's merch table. I don't know how they didn't sell out right away because they're fucking awesome, but for some reason they still have them. There were only 750 or something that got produced.
They do have a tendency to sell out stuff quick, so that's weird.
Maybe just because they're so big, people are afraid of not having room for them. I don't know. Because it was a 2-pack and they were like $20 or something.
This is signed by Walter Flanagan and Brian Johnson. Mm-hmm. That's just what a random.
It's just the bumper sticker
to fill a hole in the wall. Now this cat here, I don't know who drew these. Maybe you do. Who drew these?
William Chastain.
What happened to that guy?
Unfortunately, he just got busy at one point and then never really came back.
He has a very angry interpretation of me, but he was kind enough to draw me as the skinny version of myself that I am now. So. Props to that guy. So we're seeing a lot of this cat. Explain to me the Baron.
A Baron is the persona that inhibits Walt from another dimension that tells facts and weird information. Mostly it's just facts. The facts are usually weird and strange and they'll mind-bending kind of stuff. And strangely enough, there's always a thunderclap right after he presents facts.
So that is actually autographed by Walt Flanagan.
It is indeed.
That's dope. Now explain to me this guy here with the massive Hellboy horns.
Well, that's the 4-color demon. That's a motorcycle club that Quinn created, and he's the mascot for it.
Brian Quinn from Impractical Jokers.
By God, the same.
That guy. So it's how do you qualify to become a member?
You basically just have to listen to Tell 'em Steve Dave and sign up. As long as you have some sort of vehicle, doesn't matter if it's got 2 wheels, 4 wheels, if it's a scooter, anything counts.
So in theory, if I drew a picture of a scooter, I can be in the club?
I'm pretty sure.
That's a fucking. That seems like we got to really step up our game. I don't know, man. It just seems like anybody can get in.
I think that's the point. All
right, man. It's not my club. This appears to be, what is it, Psycho?
Yeah, those are originals from Chastain.
Okay, I can sort of see the style on that.
That one's Toad when he got his Xbox, and then the Psycho one, yeah.
What's all this stuff here?
The left, that's Amy Delacat. She does art for TESD stuff, and those were these little weeklies, or monthlies, I guess she was making, little comic strips.
So those don't exist anymore?
No, it was limited time she sold them. They're pretty awesome. It's basically just little, like, monthly things with little Tell 'em Steve Dave stories inside of them.
And you can't, like, there's nowhere to, if someone wanted to read that story, there's no way to,
no,
like, digitally or anything?
When she
or is it just a picture?
No, it's a whole booklet. When she released them, she did a digital version. I don't know if that's still online, though.
All
You
right.
have to trace it down.
So if you're out there and you're an investigative reporter, do all that legwork for us, because we're not going to do it. Here at badboardy.com, youtube.com/Brian Maxwell, we're only willing to drive and hold a camera. Tell me about these rad card sets and why I have 2 cards. I'm honored, by the way. Actually, we have 3 cards. And I've got some t-shirts for you in the car, but this video has nothing to do with that.
So these were originally, I was making a costume for the ant mask that's actually on display at the stash right now. And I needed a card for the mask. I needed a Brian Quinn Joker card. And you couldn't just order 1 card. So I had to order, I think, 18. So I made up just some nonsense little magic cards to go with it. And people, for some reason, I didn't understand it, really liked them.
Because they're fucking awesome.
Apparently, that's what people say.
Not apparently.
And so I originally just started giving tons out. I gave away probably 200 or 300 of them.
So looks like you got Sunday, Jeff, Walt, Johnson, Quinn, Get 'em, Ming, Mike. I don't know, who is that? Jay Sarge.
It's pretty much everybody but
Frank
Edwin.
5, me. Oh, no, Troy.
I actually had a signed one of Troy.
The hell, Troy?
Somebody missed out on their Troy card, so I sent my signed one off to them, figuring I'll get another one signed eventually.
So, it's I know the deal, but explain the Topps cards.
So Topps cards was an idea by Walt to do for a Patreon reward. It's going to be basically, as described, Tell 'em Steve Dave Topps cards. He basically just gave me the who he wants to be on them all, and had me do all the legwork, creating the backs, the fronts, doing all of it. It was a ton of fun, and they're pretty awesome. I actually ended up, he only was going to do 6 originally, but for the price point, I was able to get 10 instead of 6. So you're welcome, everybody that got them.
So this is Patreon exclusive.
Yeah, those are Patreon exclusive.
That's dope. I'm going to steal that on my way out. So eyes open, head on a swivel, son. Number 835. What's that?
That's my 4-color demon number. When you sign up, you get a number.
I should do that. What number do you think they're at?
They're in.
How did you end up with 835?
Just being fast.
You should be like 11.
Oh no, I think that.
What do you mean fast?
When they released them, I think Ants started at like 700 or 800. They blocked off all the ones before that for people like you. I'm sure if you asked them.
Oh well, dope. I can probably get a good number then. I'm going to talk to somebody about that. I never did it because earlier in life I was imprisoned for marijuana, and they give you a number, so it felt weird to like go sign up for a number.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine like Holocaust survivors are like they're giving out numbers these days. Cool. People are tattooing numbers on themselves. Cool. Well, that's what we needed, was a good Holocaust story in this video. How about something a bit more upbeat? I personally think that this is the best album. Some people say that the first album, they got a red split, whatever. Maybe they're looking for that one. I like to think this is the best album because I'm on it. Is this an original drawing?
Yeah, that's the Walt's original pencils for drawing the artwork for Vinyl Cast 2.
So this is like cartoons where they have or comic books where they sell you like the sale or whatever, that the guy drew it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they use that to make the cover?
Yep, and what you can see down and to the right is the actual cover made up. That one actually Walt just sent out of the blue. Some of the stuff came with other stuff that I've gotten.
That's the final version.
Mm-hmm.
That is dope. I don't think I have one of those. I might have one. I have a tendency to invite Tell 'em Steve Dave people to my house and then do the alcohol.
I've seen it in person.
And then I I just start giving stuff away, man. If it doesn't have my name on it, I've probably given it away.
I have been there when you just randomly started ripping things off your walls and giving them to people.
It's good times, though, right?
It is.
Every so often, somebody will send me a picture of something that I've given them, and I'm like, oh, man, I missed that. This isn't about me. What is this? What is that, Sunday Jeff? That is Sunday Jeff because it says Sunday Jeff.
It's a little temporary tattoo. Then those are the dog tags that came with the Cryptozoic Man trade paperback you could get.
Cryptozoic Man is the comic book that Walt and Brian did. Okay. I have a copy of that. I definitely have a copy of Cryptozoic Man. And this is, if I can get it.
Yep, that's going to be, that came with, if you were one of the first, 350 people to buy Vinyl Cast 2, you got a piece of poker table felt.
Now that's, for me, that's probably the coolest thing.
It is a cool one.
On the wall, because that's literally the sweat and the tears of laughter soaked into that felt. Now this is super dope. I don't know who made it, but if you count the people in this picture, you've got Sal Volcano from Impractical Jokers, Brian Quinn. You've got Walt Flanagan, Brian Johnson, Sunday Jeff. But in the place of Judas, the man who sold out Jesus, it's your boy, Brian Maxwell. But if you know the true story of Jesus, the story that the Bible won't tell you, Jesus said, Judas, I need you to bear the burden, where I'm going to need you to go snitch on me, so I can be the savior of humanity, because these dumb fucking Romans ain't showing up. I've been waiting on them for 3 weeks. I've been praying on it, and they ain't showing up. So I need you to go, and I need you to hook me up, Judas. And then Judas did it, and he threw the silver down because he didn't want nothing to do with it. But that's the story of Judas. What's the ass with the teeth?
That's a thing that Bruce.
It says
Bruce.
Yo-ho.
He had commissioned.
Rooster Booster.
Betcha. He had Walt commissioned to do those. That's a recreation of a drawing Walt drew for Bry when they were kids that ended up making Bry's mom say he can't hang out with Walt anymore.
I feel that.
Yeah, I mean, that could make sense for little kids come home with a wild ass drawing.
Do you think that, maybe, you know that, you ever seen that movie Teeth, where that lady got a teeth vagina that'd be biting off dicks?
No, I have not.
All right, man, you shouldn't watch it. I don't recommend it. All right. Good God, this thing goes on forever. We've got Making Clay, TESD Live, TESD TV, Elephants in the Room. I could have done that in the editing room, but it would have taken like a half an hour. So I said, it'd probably work.
Much more efficient.
Now, this looks like it's signed by everybody and God.
I think everybody except Kevin. Kevin's a harder one to get signatures.
Oh, no, he's not, man. Just show up where he's at.
He's not at, he's not at here.
He's going to be in Nashville for that Jay and Silent Bob thing.
That's true.
All right. That's just a picture of the Baron.
It's a calendar, actually. But
oh, okay.
I only have the one-page display.
Now, are these still very, very difficult to get?
Yeah, I mean, basically the only way you're going to get those is randomly watching eBay for when they come up.
And if you're looking for any figures or any Tell 'em Steve Dave related merchandise, at SmodFan on Twitter, he'll always snitch out the cheap albums and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they go up in price because all you assholes on Twitter that follow him.
I usually try if it's reasonably priced stuff. Like, I've seen where people put those up for like $75-$80, which to me is crazy. So I won't usually mention those. But if I see them cheap, $20, $15.
I actually gave mine away with that Red album. Not gave away, sold it for charity to some guy in Norway. I like to think it went to Ragnar Lothbrok's great-great-granddaddy. What is this? Patches, stickers?
These are all stuff from Ants.
I've got some of this stuff on my refrigerator.
I imagine.
Boom! So. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, man, I appreciate your sympathy. So
that was from the first
just
time
putting that out there.
And this is all Patreon stuff.
Well, what is it, man?
Well, that one's a fake TV guide for the Frank 5 Rewind segment where they did the $6 Million Man.
And Sasquatch, it looks like.
Yeah.
Haven't seen any of those. I'm only on the $5 tier.
It's pretty great. They just recreated the whole episode and well, at least a big scene from the episode. It was pretty awesome. Bry played the Sasquatch character. Frank Five, of course, played the titular role.
He played the titty role?
Yeah.
I like that. This appears to be British. You could tell by the accent. What is this?
That's a Space Monkeys poster from when they went over to England in, gosh, what was that, 2012?
So it says, Space Monkeys is specifically Brian Quinn of Impractical Joker fame and Brian Johnson of For God's Sake, Let Stan Lee Rest fame.
Oh, yeah.
Side note, I missed those pops in that roller roll. Those pops are not easy to get.
No, and crazy enough, I don't know if you know Barb from Twitter.
Barb from Stranger Things? R.I.P. Barb.
Slightly different one. I missed out on them because they were expensive and I just couldn't really get them at the time. And she just bought them and sent them.
That's because you're a good dude, bro.
No real reasoning. I told her not to, but she did anyway.
Because you're a good dude. This is just a poster? What is this?
Yeah, that's from Phil Will. He created that one and the one above it, which are just some really cool like concept art.
I've never even seen that.
It's awesome. He's done some really good art. He did a bunch of my cards as well, a bunch of the Magic cards.
Is he on Twitter?
Yeah. And he's the inker for Metro.
What's his Twitter?
At Philip Williams, I believe. The full name spelled out.
At Philip Williams.
He's awesome. He does a bunch of little TESD stuff, and then he did those two, which are just really cool, and that one. And the one below it.
This must be the poster. You know, you go to somebody's house and they got like everything they own in a frame, and then they got like the one poster on their fucking closet door that's like the corners are all torn out and shit. People been spitting on it and shit. Like this came from Walmart, where you like flip through all the things and you pick out your John Cena poster. So
unfortunately, that one they screwed up in shipping. You can see where it got bent to hell and back, where they smashed it.
It is.
That sucks.
It's got some waves. You know what though, man?
It's one of my favorites, though. I love that rendition.
It's got personality. And all these are from the same guy?
Yeah, it's Philip Williams as well.
How have I never seen any of these?
I don't know. You ain't got your eyes open.
Cryptozoic Man, we mentioned earlier. Looks like all of these are also... See, you got a lot of autographed merchandise here, sir.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
Now, all of these are first prints, correct?
Yeah, that was part of the original Booty Time bundle.
What's a booty time? You can't just say booty time on YouTube. You're going to get us reported.
On Tell 'em Steve Dave, Walt sometimes would do kind of bundled package things for Tell 'em Steve Dave merch, and he would call it Booty Time.
Like a pirate?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, he does. He also said yo-ho, so he's definitely the pirate kind of guy.
If it's a Viking, it could have dual meanings.
That's possible.
It could mean money and your women. I've been watching a lot of Vikings on the History Channel. I don't think a lot of the History Channel is accurate. I'll be honest with you, man.
I mean, they're the ones that talk about ancient aliens and shit. So.
I see. Are they really?
Yeah.
All right, I'm starting to question everything I know about the whole Lothbrok family now. So I have originals. I have number ones. Are they worth more money than the one you can buy today?
I've never looked to sell the stuff, but I would assume so, yeah.
I haven't either, but I'm just saying when times are tough, man, you could probably make a good... This is like having a child. It's like the same amount of money. It's like having a baby. Except if I need to pay rent in a pinch, I can't sell my baby.
Well, it'd be a lot harder to, at least.
It'd be harder for you to sell this than it would be the baby? I respect that. It took me years to put that together. It took you minutes to make that baby. Is this more original artwork?
Yeah. This is kind of set up.
I feel like I should be doing like little bunny foo foo walking through the... That bunny's fucked up. My bad. Cloud have mercy. I watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space the other day. They did shadow puppets, so that's what we're getting. These shadows, let's stand this way. There we go. It's fine, man. I'll fix it in post. I won't. I'm probably not going to edit much. So this is Cryptozoic Man. Can you give me some... What the fuck does that say?
I think from Walt to the inker asking for stars in the area where he put X's.
Oh, I see it. Can you give me some stars? That's that inside dope. That's that deep Cryptozoic Man dive.
See, I got that one when I visited the stash for the first time. Walt he knew I was a fan, so he just gave it to me out of nowhere.
That's dope. Cryptozoic Man's an ugly son of a bitch.
And that's the trade paperback of it.
I don't think I have that. This is a variant cover that I definitely don't have. Where'd you get that?
It just came with the bundle. I guess sometimes they sent variants with the bundles they sent out.
You know, wait, maybe I do have... Maybe I have a different variant.
Yeah, I think I've seen a bunch of different people with variants of the first cover.
Well, shit, man. I'm going to go through mine, and if I have a different variant, I'll send it to you. Because it's definitely a number 1.
Well, that one's special, too, because if you look right next to Walt's signature, that's got the blood spot on it, where when they sold these, they got blood from all
Oh, yeah, that's nasty.
And they put a little dot of blood on the covers.
Uh-uh.
And I've sweated Walt about it, asking if that's just a marker, and he insists that it's not.
I guarantee it's not, because that dude's crazy. That's nasty. That's nasty. What is wrong with you, Walter Flanagan? Christ does not approve, but Kiss does. That has to be some Kiss bullshit, doesn't
that's
it?
where that came from.
What is Carney? That looks like a lot of issues of Carney.
There's only 4. The one in the middle is a stash variant. It's a kind of a special version of the number 1. That's a book that Brian and Walt did a while back, before Tell 'em Steve Dave, before any of that stuff. It's a really cool book.
You mean they existed before Tell 'em Steve Dave?
Surprisingly so.
That's crazy. Does Brian Quinn in this copy of Deadpool?
Yeah, that's a copy of Spider-Man Deadpool, where Brian Quinn showed up.
No way. That's dope. I don't even know these things. That looks like they did that at a Comic-Con or something, the Impractical Jokers one here.
They had a bunch of leftovers, so they gave them out with...
Well, don't say it like that. They had a bundle of them out by the dumpster, so they were handing them out.
Well, I didn't go to the Comic-Con, so that's how I got that one.
Oh, shit, I just got dizzy standing up right there. I'm very out of shape. So I also have a hardcover of Metro that I haven't opened, but I haven't seen this. What is this?
So to the left, well, that one is a preview of Chapter 1. They did it at another con. I forget which con it was, actually, but... So they gave out the one above it, which is the preview comic, and then that's the preview of Chapter 1 that they did. So it's just one chapter from the book they put out maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
And that was exclusive for certain people on the Kickstarter?
No, it was at a con that they went to.
Okay.
I don't know if it cost money at the con or if it was just part of seeing them.
And this is part of War of the Undead, it looks like?
That's when I went to the stash. Walt drew it for me.
Is this before The Walking Dead?
Before the show, for sure. I don't know when the comic Walking Dead was around, though.
All right.
I know it's before the show.
What is it looked like my autistic son colored this with a green marker. Yeah. Is that blood? What is this?
So I actually personally don't know why they used green. Maybe it's better for when it gets copied, it shows up better or something. That's one of the few that I didn't get from Walt. That one was on eBay.
And what is this from?
From War of the Undead.
Okay.
That one was on eBay, but it was up for like $25, and that was just way too cheap to pass up.
So ballpark, and you feel free not to answer if you don't want to. Ballpark, how much money do you think you have in this? Not even the things that you've purchased, just frames.
Just frames.
Just frames.
Probably a couple $100 just in frames.
It's got to be more than that.
Because I went yesterday and bought
It's got to be more than that, right?
So probably
5, 10, 20, 30, 40. Oh, yeah, dude. I'm at $40-$50 in frames. I ain't even halfway down a wall. Come on, man.
Well, the thing is, I do get a discount because I always buy multiple frames at a time, like the multi-packs. And even if things are too big for what I'm putting in them, I'll just use some black construction paper to do backing on it. So that's why a lot of the frames look very similar size, as they mostly are all the same size. Like the above the Metro there, that one's just a comic book frame turned sideways. But frames, probably at least a good couple $100. And then in the content, it's impossible to tell at this point. A lot of this stuff I didn't actually pay for, but the stuff that I did, it's a good bit. Very, very few things in here, though, actually came from a secondary market like eBay. Almost all of it came directly from the podcast, from Walt, from the stash, that kind of stuff.
So a lot of this is one of one.
I mean, there's only a couple like that are specifically one exists in the world.
And this mask this is your creation.
That's right. I made that for the Halloween party you held. The very first one you did, I made that.
All right, well, pause right there. Cut into the awards that I gave you that are awesome, and we're back. So, like, that's dope. But this is, it looks to be like the planet Earth, wherein when the Lord created it, he didn't consider what oxygen and all of those things would do to it, and now it's like falling apart.
It's seen better days for sure.
Do you go back and like upkeep it, or
I did.
Is it just gonna sit there and one day you're gonna touch it and it's gonna explode like an old fruit?
It will likely explode one day. Every now and then, maybe I haven't touched it in maybe a year or two, but when I first made it, every so often I would keep up with it, but now it's kind of just sat for a while.
It's dope. How many hours did that take you?
That was probably at least 3 or 4 full weekends working on it.
That's insanity. The details, that's nuts.
Mostly because I had nothing to go on. I had no idea how to do any of it. It was all just figuring it out from scratch. There's a million coat hangers in there that are connecting everything.
And it was, like I said, for a Halloween party, the Tell 'em Steve Dave Halloween Bash that I hosted at my house. At one point, I just started giving you the award when you came, because no one, who's like, all right, man, I got to get my costume together. It's May. I'm already behind. The attention to detail is ridiculous. Well, right on, man. I appreciate you letting me stop by and see all of your stuff. I would suggest getting a Nest camera, because I'm definitely breaking in here and taking maybe like 6 to 7 things. Super dope, man. Super dope. Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
Told you we'd be fine.